Welcome back to the CRP, and we're looking at a wage rage episode here for Bellator. So we are on the MMA side, and that means I'm Miguel Dorati, and Devin Miller has joined me to take a look at Bellator 220's main event in the welterweight division. Titleist Rory McDonald taking on Jon Fitch, a battle of UFC veterans. The fight's set to air on DAZN April 27th. So we're about 5 weeks out. It'll be a first look, and we'll see on the week of the fight if the odds have changed at all. But right now, McDonald more than a 3-1 favorite over Fitch. McDonald and Fitch both long UFC careers, now on the Bellator side. How do you see this one going, Dev?
Well, I think McDonald is definitely the heavy favorite to not only win this, but I believe to win the whole tournament. I will say that I do think this is the best thing that Bellator has going for itself right now. I really like that they brought back, they're kind of resurrecting the old Pride FC days of doing a Grand Prix tournament. They just did one with heavyweight, which wasn't very, in my opinion, wasn't very great, mainly due to the fact that a lot of the competitors in the tournament were not even heavyweights. But nonetheless, Ryan Bader ended up winning it, and they announced that they'd be doing one for welterweight, which I believe is the best division that Bellator has currently. They announced this back in September that they would do this, and it got kicked off in September with a trilogy fight between Douglas Lima and Andre Koreshkov that Douglas Lima won. And then in December they had the second fight of the first round of the 8-man tournament between undefeated Nyman Gracie and Ed Ruth, and Gracie pulled off a fourth round rear naked choke at Bellator 213 and advanced himself into the semifinals. And then just recently we had one of the biggest fights in Bellator history with Michael Venom Page taking on Paul Daly. That Michael Page was awarded a decision win. And now the final fight of the first round is what we're talking about right here, between Rory McDonald and Jon Fitch. The winner of this will fight Nyman Gracie in the semifinal. And this fight's taking place April 27th. And then the first semifinal match will be not long after this, just 2 weeks after this, at Bellator 21, between Douglas Lima and Michael Venom Page. So this is a pretty cool little tournament that they got going on here. I think that those odds are correct. Jon Fitch is in his later 30s. Rory McDonald's still, I believe, one of the premier heavyweights in the world, regardless of organization. And I think that he's going to move on from here and go. I think he's got a pretty good fast track to the final to fight either Douglas Lima or Venom Page. But he's got to get through Fitch, and he is the current Bellator champion.
Yep, I think, I concur with everything you said in terms of the tournament. I think they're exciting. I think Bellator has done a poor job on both tournaments of managing the schedule, because I just don't think that, separating, they're still finishing the first round 7 months later when it started, and that just doesn't help anybody, not the fighters, not the promotion, not fans trying to keep track of the thing or anything like that. But it is good to see the talent level that they have in there, and Fitch, as you said, is probably, as the title holder, the odds-on favorite to win it all. McDonald is the odds-on favorite to win it all there. And, in Fitch, you talk about a real veteran, a guy who, counts on his wrestler base, but also, went out and did the homework and became a very skilled ground fighter on the submission end as well. Could that late 30s jump that we've seen, like Junior Dos Santos and a couple of other fighters take, and, especially after a little bit of a layoff and some rest, could we see a resurgent Jon Fitch?
I think it's possible, and I always thought that Jon Fitch was a very good fighter. I think he got a really bad rap for a long time, and it was mainly due to the fact that he was just very winless. Finishless. Most of his wins were decision wins, but that's just his style. He's a grinder, and he would press forward, he would get guys down, he would get them in guard, and he would just grind them out, and they weren't able to stop his game. And at one point he had like a 14-1 UFC record, and with his only loss being a 5-round decision loss to George St. Pierre. And he ended up taking a hard loss to Jon Fitch, and then Johnny Hendricks, and then went. He ended up out of the UFC, and he's still been a top contender in every area of every organization that he's fought for. I think Jon Fitch is a very tough competitor. It's just Rory McDonald is kind of that next level right now, and Rory McDonald's actually coming off a loss, tried to go up to middleweight and fight Gegard Mousasi, who has been I think he's one of the most underrated fighters, not of right now, but of all time. And he got smashed pretty bad, but he's going back down to his rightful weight class down there at welterweight. And I do agree with you. I think that he is the odds-on favorite to win the whole thing, even against Page or Douglas Lima.
And here at the CRPO, we are taking a first look at the final Bellator welterweight Grand Prix bout in the first round, and that involves Jon Fitch and Rory McDonald. The odds are up at the books, and McDonald is coming in at -320. The Fitch is +240. I've been joined by our MMA analyst, Devin Miller, to take a closer look at Fitch versus McDonald for Bellator 220.